think the issue isn't solely to do with the pre-pack and the concept of a pre-pack, because I genuinely think that some advantages in certain situations where the failure of the business is down to factors other than the failure of corporate governance. I think it's quite easy to understand in this current climate that businesses in the hospitality and leisure industry will be suffering in some of those instances. Pre-packing some of those organisations to allow them to future trade, provide services to local communities, to provide future revenue streams to suppliers, to the government. I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Protecting jobs obviously is a really important thing, and the government's throwing lots of money at that at the moment. I think what's really hard to swallow is when organisations are walking away from massive debts and responsibilities simply to repackage themselves and potentially repeat the same mistakes. It's more to do with an issue of corporate governance and poor corporate governance than the actual pre-pack itself. Pre-packs make for a very unlevel playing field. I think it's important to see how it distorts the market before the pre-pack and also after the pre-pack. Honestly, I've lost count of the amount of times, the amount of conversations I've had with my own sales team and customers where they've asked me to try and match prices from competitors. And clearly you want to show willing, so you look at the costs, and it amazes me the prices that some people in our industry sell our goods for, and I'm left looking at it going, well, I can't meet those prices, so what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong within my business? What costs have I got that I can get rid of? And ultimately, with hindsight, you can see how they do it. And unfortunately, with the pre-pack situation, when you get a new co, I don't necessarily think that things are going to change. In order to go for growth again, they're going to have to price their products keener than ever. They're going to need to generate cash very quickly. And generally, I don't see the lessons being learned. And if you read the PR of lots of pre-packs that have happened throughout history, interestingly enough, very few are down to poor corporate governance. The vast majority are down to external factors, and it's the race to the bottom part 2. So I genuinely think that we need to be looking at ourselves in the mirror, and we need to tighten up, and we need to just operate to some basic accounting principles. If they're not worth that money on paper and they haven't got the working capital in their business, why would you offer those terms in the first place? You're just asking for trouble. Suppliers and customers, we all have a duty of care in the supply chain as a whole, and it has always amazed me that in our industry we seem to work to a different set of accounting principles than most other industry sectors, especially when it comes to credit accounts. More available information on the financials of most businesses now at the touch of a button than ever before, and you do a bit of research, you look on paper, the businesses can't justify the amount of credit that they're asking for and the length of time they want that credit for. And actually, it's up to us to make the responsible choice to say, I'm not going to give you the terms you've asked for, because actually that's not good for you as a business, and long term it's not good for me as a business. But there's little point in me actually introducing a Sternfenster customer into our dealer network who is in a 2-year cycle of boom and bust. Ultimately, we want professional businesses that have a long-term future, who can add value to the supply chain. Having a customer who, after 24 months, is going to bust his business, rename his business, get rid of all his old debts, actually, that's not good for anybody in the local area. So whilst competition is great for everybody, because it keeps us innovating, it keeps us fresh, it keeps us on our toes, that competition has to be on a level playing field. Otherwise, ultimately, the relationship just won't work. And when I talk about the relationship not working, that's not just with the new business, that's with all our existing customers. So yeah, for me, everyone in the supply chain needs to understand they have a responsibility. The boom and bust businesses that have been around in the past and will no doubt be around in the future, I think they have such a damaging effect on confidence, on supply chains, and on the general public. And honestly, I think fundamentally people in our industry, and they've started to do it. If you read the social media, they kind of need to wake up and start having some proper values. But let's not keep having these companies that come along and want to take over the world, buy business at any price, and then, do you know what, end up in trouble because fundamentally their business models are wrong.